Nobody's gonna pop out. There's nothing's gonna hurt you in here. This is a box where there's some surprises. We're gonna pull one thing out at a time, and there's no right or wrong answer. We're just curious about what you feel about it.
Welcome, all royal family, my kings and queens. And if you're new to this channel, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Join the royal family, become a part of the movement. This is Mary J. Blige Real. In this series, this 4 to 5 part series, I'm not sure, but we're going to talk about Mary J. Blige, her impact on the world, and her new album, Good Morning Gorgeous.
She's so skeptical.
One of them games.
It's me, Mary.
It's the Capricorn thing. You are like the same way.
You're right. I am the same way. I be like side eye.
Well, if you don't know by now, you should. But I'm one of the biggest Mary J. Blige fan. Like, people say, trust me, I love Beyonce. Like, that's my queen. But Mary also one of my queens, if not probably my first queen, well, second after my mom. But yes, Mary is definitely, I grew up on Mary, like 91, 92, when she dropped. I was born in 89. My mother was a huge fan, but that's beside the point. I have followed this lady's career my entire life. I'm 33. She been in the game 30 years. Like, for real, every album. In the 90s, I was a kid, so I wasn't that on, but since I've been like 12, 13, yes, definitely. I love this woman. I love her honesty, her pain, I always said that Mary, there's a ministry in her music, you know what I'm saying? There's always a lesson, there's always a deep meaning and connection for anybody that would just really listen and connect. I think that's why she has such a huge following. For Mary to be hated on, because I do hear people talking and hating on her vocals and stuff like that, and you know, picking at her dance moves or whatever. I hear it, I see it all the time. But at the end of the day, Mary gets a lot of respect from a lot of people. There's a lot of people in the world who would dare not speak bad on Mary. And I just think it's just all because of the energy she translates. It's so authentic to her, it's real, and so many people can relate no matter where you're from. When she did the London Session album, and to just hear people like Sam Smith.
People can see you now in a video with Mary J. Blige. How was it duetting with such a massive star?
It's my first time talking about it. It was amazing. Mary J. Blige is the queen of everything, and just to be able to perform next to her. I mean, if you watch the video, that I smile at it halfway through because I'm like, I can't believe this is actually happening. Because I remember sitting there as a 10-year-old holding her album, so it really felt great.
Sam Smith and those different artists speak on the impact that she has had on their life overseas. Like this hood girl from Yonkers who didn't think that she would make it out of her 20s or out the projects or even this far in her career. It's,
you know, when Andre said he went to your apartment back in the day and you sang for him, when you think about that young lady, did you see this? Did you see moments like this happening? Did you think it would go this far?
Absolutely not.
Wow.
I did not think it would. I didn't think I would live past my life.
It's inspiring that she have touched and still touches so many people. And y'all know I have said this a million times that I hate when people say Mary make her best music when she's going through something.
And it reminds me of how people a lot of people say, I don't want Mary's music without the heartbreak. Do you think about that when you approach the studio?
Because I disagree. Mary just make good music, period. But another thing that I like to point out, especially within the past, I'll say 15 years. It's the relationship that she has with a lot of women in the industry. In this industry, is so real. Like, Mary and real should just be. When you look at the definition of real, you should just see a picture of Mary J. Blige here, or see her name. Like, real. The definition of real mean Mary J. Blige, because you can feel it. She have made it to where, or she have presented herself in a way to, not only you can feel her in her music, but you can just feel her in her presence. Like, you can just feel the realness. And I say all that to say this, like, the relationship that she had with different women, Angie Martinez being one, I didn't know that they were as close friends as they are, you know, and I've just discovered that these past couple of years, but you can feel it. Taraji is another one of Mary's close friend. Angela Bassett, she has a gang of chicks that just ride for her, and it's real. Even back in the days, she had Whitney Houston, Shaka Khan. Like, people really, really love Mary. Mary has presented herself in this business and given herself to us in a way we can call her auntie and it be real. Like, she feel like an auntie or a big cousin or a sister or even a mom, you know, like, and she has no kids, but I just love to see people, especially women, but I love to see people in the industry that really have a genuine relationship, but you can definitely see that in this interview with her and Angie Martinez.
Side-eyeing everybody. I think everything in here is gonna bring hopefully a good memory for you.
Okay.
So let's do it. Okay, so we're gonna pull out an item from a box. They represent different moments in your personal life and in your musical journey. And we're gonna hear some stories. You ready? You wanna take it or you want me to do it? That's the first thing. Show the audience so they can see.
Wow.
You can put it over there.
Well,
what does that make you feel like?
Well, this is my little baby. This is my little Mary. This is my baby right here, for real. This is it.
It started everything.
Every time I see this album cover, I automatically think of the original version to Love No Limit. And the video. Like,
Yes.
I don't know why I just go to that.
That takes you to the time.
Yeah.
I was an intern at the radio station. Well, I was working there. I was working in the office in the back, and I used to play Love No Limit on repeat, over and over.
Yeah, the jazz version is so fly.
It's so fire.
Oh, man.
See, this is why I fucks with Mary, excuse my language, but it's the jazz version. When people come for her vocals, I'm like, how could you though? Like, there's a lot of character in Mary's voice. Like, she has this soulful jazz rock and roll sound, and I'm like, she even incorporated jazz in her first album. When you think of Love No Limit, like, and then the way she matched that saxophone and those different instruments with her vocals, like, you would not discredit her as a vocalist, because it's hard to sing jazz. And Love No Limit is a classic, and I love the remix is dope, but that original jazz version, you can't get no better than that. Like, it solidified her as a true vocalist in my eyes.
So fire.
Oh, man. The remix is hot too, but
I'm sure everybody in this room has a memory connected to that album.
Listen, I know.
You know.
I know.
All right.
Now be sure to stick around, because I got more Mary J. Blige content coming up, and I know it's late, but I do have a review coming up for the album Good Morning Gorgeous. It takes a minute to really sit with a good record like this, so stay around. All that and more coming right up on Talk Music and Entertainment Show. I'm your host, Keith Elite. Love each other, protect each other, respect each other, but most of all, know your worth. I will catch you guys in the next one.